Welcome to our Why I Said Yes series. And today I have another special co-author with me today, Hoi Yin Shutoy. Hoi and myself, we used to be colleagues long time ago. And this is Hoi's third book. First one was Soul Parent, Volume 2. And then she did another one. I believe it calls Real Love.
Soul Love, yeah.
Love. And then now Hoi is also part of Reclaim Your Life book. So welcome, Hoi. It is pleasure to have you. Please share a little bit about yourself and let us know why did you say yes to writing a chapter in Reclaim Your Life.
Glad to be here, Arina, and thank you for inviting me again. I have a full-time job in the New York City. I'm living in New Jersey, so I actually have a kind of like a regular life, unlike a lot of guests that you have in your podcast. I would think I actually watched some of your podcasts, and I saw people with really traumatic and very, very interesting experiences. And yeah, so I would say I am more than them. My life is not as traumatic as theirs, but I am so encouraged by those people's experience. I did have some life journeys that I want to write down. Sometimes it may be for myself, and it could be for a friend or for a family. It may be for my children who do not understand where they are at this point yet, but at some point in their life when they grow up, they may want to read my chapter, hopefully, and they will know that I have written about them today. And then I also wrote in the chapter that there are some thoughts of mine that I actually want to write down for once, and then I do not want to remember those anymore. So basically, I want to write it down to record this is who I am today. And then one day when I look back at it, hopefully when I don't care much about it anymore, then I know, okay, this is this is who I am today. Yeah, so it's more like a journal for myself as well when I write. And then I remember that when I started writing, you told me one thing, maybe during the time of writing, you can heal yourself, because I know that when you gave me the title, which is, what is it? The breaking that makes you new. My immediate response was, I know about my breaking, and I am still not very sure whether I'm becoming new yet. So it is easy to write about my breaking. So I did write. I started writing about my breaking and what made me new. And then as I started writing, the story kind of emerged. So yeah.
Beautiful. Very
So
well. Thank you. What was difficult part about writing?
the difficult part is that there are quite a lot of things I want to write, but it also is quite personal, and I also try to hide it in a way in the writing. It may be about themselves. So
Awesome. Thank you. How
yeah.
about what was the best part about writing?
Yeah, the best part is that I actually loved writing when I was young, and I never really write again. So my profession does not really involve imaginative writing. It does not include that. And even though I do write technically, and this is actually fun for me. Yeah, I'm kind of like revisiting myself as a writer. Yeah.
Beautiful, because we need some outlet for creativity to remind yourself who you are a little bit. And when we pursue, I'm a strong believer in our hobbies and our passion, because I believe in those things we discover a little bit of who we are. Because we always put those things, oh, I'll do it when I retire, when I'm like, when I don't have to work anymore. But when we put it on the back burner, like we lose ourselves when we don't
Yeah.
practice what brings us joy.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit at a time.
Yeah, I remember that when you first approached me about writing something, I told you that I actually want to write a science fiction.
You can.
which is something that I am kind of still working on.
I'm glad I was able to inspire that in you, to
Yeah.
give yourself the chance, because you can do it, and I think you'll be great at it as well, based on what you've written so far. I love all your writings, and Soul Parent, and then this one, the Reclaim Your Life. You write very beautifully, very expressively. I feel like I am right there with you, walking the streets of Paris and all the places that you've been. You paint a picture with your words. You use words as a paintbrush, and you have a masterpiece. Because when we're writing, we don't have that visual. You create the visual by using words in such a way to create an experience, to create an emotion, a character, and a feeling, and a state of where you were with the words. And you have such a strong possession of that trait. You are able to do that very, very expertly, I would say.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, so that's a story about me having a I don't know what they call panic attack, and I had to be hospitalized, and that was my wake up call that I wrote in the book The Breaking, and so I was tired, my body was exhausted, and there were a lot of things that I was worrying about, and so that Paris trip was a great break. Yeah, it was a trip that I took over the weekend to Paris, and that's really just for me to relax and walk around and to be away from the life here
Yeah.
in New York. Yeah. So that rejuvenate how to rejuvenize me a little bit, but in a sense that yeah, it gives me a new perspective. Does that make me new? I think internally I get cleaned up a little bit, right? Like instead of being filled with all the breaking news, what I was mentioning a little bit in the chapter about all the things that are happening in the world, things that get me very stressed. Yeah, kind of retune me a little bit inward and maybe sometimes towards the past and sometimes towards something higher up, and that might help. Yeah. Mm.
What do you want the reader to glean from your chapter? What do you want the reader to feel, to experience, to learn from your chapter?
Yeah, I kind of just want my reader to be with me on a trip.
Okay.
To maybe try a getaway from life and go explore somewhere, and maybe have either a retreat or a rest of the mind, right? And to be away a little bit from the busy life and just to see what their inner being is telling them. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your story, Hoi. If today's conversation reminded you to slow down and reconnect with yourself, you'll love Hoi's chapter, Breaking News, Breaking and the Break, and Reclaim Your Life, the Breaking That Made You New, launching July 7. And if you'd like to hear more inspiring conversations, simply click on the videos on your screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.